Be sure to buy your copy of Before the Badge, everything you need to know before you become a cop. Available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and wordsmatterpublishing.com. Systemic racism is one of the most abused terms out there, especially when it comes down to law enforcement. And I don't think people understand that you're the cause of it. We're going to go over a recent police shooting, which I'm going to tell you up front, I think is a bad shoot. I saw it. I looked at it. I went, nope, bad shoot. I saw that off of a 46-second video. I'm going to play the entirety of the before, different angles, all of that. But I'm going to tell you something. This is exactly what the powers that be want. And I don't want to get a little bit political, right? Because when it comes down to law enforcement, I think you should be apolitical. I think you should just cancel out both sides. Your job is to serve the peace and the people in totality. But they are making your lives fucking hell as both citizens, police officers, and whatever citizens of color they claim the police are targeting. And I'm going to talk about in this video why exactly they're doing this. Because it's evident in the comment section of every single one of you bootlickers, and I'm saying that hoping that you wake up and say, shit, I shouldn't just arbitrarily support the police because I'm so tired of criminals getting away with shit. That's the problem. It doesn't matter how much I will put forth evidence to say this shooting was a bad shoot. The problem is you as the public are tired of district attorneys or state's attorneys in liberal cities allowing criminals to get away with some of the most atrocious behavior, criminal behavior, that just happens to go inside of certain cultures because no one's going to talk about black culture crime, white culture crime, Hispanic culture and crime, Asian culture. No one's going to talk about that. It is simply the easiest thing to do is capitalize off of how charged people are in their emotions and cry, the officer and police are fucking racists and the public is tired of what's going on. You, those who do support the police, those who do follow the laws as best you can, they're making you to be racist because of your emotions the exact same way that those who are in power fuel the marginalized, the disenfranchised to put in a position where their culture and their mentality think it's okay to commit crime. I'm owed. And they all sit back and they fucking laugh at us. And the police are the pawns in the middle. Let's look at this together. All right, here's what we're going to cover today. Blendon Township Police released Kroger surveillance video and new body camera footage on Friday, showing the moments leading up to the fatal shooting of 21-year-old Takaya Young. Young, who was pregnant, died on August 24th of this year, 2023, after being shot by an officer in the parking lot at Kroger, located at 5991 Sunbury Road in Blendon Township. Her unborn daughter did not survive. Surveillance video from inside of the liquor store shows the Young putting several bottles of liquor into a bag she was carrying. Now remember, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit and I'm not going to mince words or pull punches. This is a black culture crime. You see this in ratio numbers that they far outweigh white, Hispanic, anybody else. This is opportunistic, holy shit, opportunity crimes that are brought to place by state's attorneys and or district attorneys that are simply eye-bonding people out, personal individual recognizance bonds, or they're just not prosecuting and they're raising that threshold of criminal prosecution from $150 as a felony when I first started for retail theft as a police officer to now $1,000. So you do get a specific culture which happens to be comprised of black African Americans who do commit theft at a far, far greater rate than any other culture out there that happens to be comprised of different races. The problem is certain other races are outraged at the lack of criminal accountability, the lack of prosecution, the lack of terminating this behavior. So when something like this happens, The balance is to act out in the comment section with opinion and emotion and saying that somebody deserved what they got. What is one of my favorite, most stupid phrase ever when it comes down to the comment section: play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And my biggest response to that is, I hope the exact same thing that happened to this person happens to a member of your white family at the hands of police. Let's continue. Kroger employee told officers who were on scene on the store that an unrelated matter, Kroger employee told officers who were at the store on an unrelated matter that multiple people were fleeing the store with stolen items. Police Chief John Belford said that included that the Young, who had allegedly taken multiple bottles of alcohol. One officer went to the driver's side of Young's car and told her to stop. Belford said while the other officer moved in front of the vehicle, shots were fired less than 1 minute after the officers walked out there. Let's take a look at some of the video surveillance footage together from Young's behavior. This is 4 minutes and 1 second. I'm going to skip through this a little bit for the sake of time. You can see this video. It's on social media. It's on, the web channels, if you will. And we're just going to watch people walking through. There are areas where you can see, I'm assuming this is Young taking liquor and putting in her purse. Again, and this is the one thing I don't think a lot of people understand when it comes to law enforcement, the mindset of people. It doesn't matter if they're drug-induced, if they're alcohol-induced, whatever it is. What person in their right mind says it is completely acceptable for me to go into a place of business and take whatever I want, no matter how much, just provided I can carry it out the door? Sadly, this has become a cultural issue. This cultural issue is perpetrated, committed mostly by Black Americans. I don't know why we're so afraid to talk about this. It's not racial, it's cultural. You have a certain culture. That culture is comprised by both language and appearance. I don't know why this is an issue. When my great-great-grandparents came here from Italy, where did they go? To where other Italians spoke. And it happened with people who were Irish and people who were Chinese and people who were wherever else. And I know the argument is always going to be, well, the Black community didn't come here by choice. I get it, but this is where we're at right now, and this is how they keep racism alive. They allow a problem. It's usually in criminality. They stoke the behavior because you have to remember, no normal human being thinks this is acceptable, but a person who has been put under the pressure of being brainwashed by the powers that be says, this is acceptable, I'm going to continue to do it. And then you outrage the people who are just exactly following the letter of law, and you put the police in the middle, and the person to blame is the cop. And then the two sides fight over and over and over again. Welcome to systemic racism. As you can see, Miss Young is just continuing. There is no violence in this video. I want to skip towards the end. This is where 3 female Black subjects exit the store with no use of force, no threat of violence, no weapons on their person. They're not being stopped. I know in most department policy or most store policies, they're not allowed to confront them, or if it is, it's past all points of purchase, whatever the case may be, but there is zero confrontation, none. If loss prevention or whatever they're called today is watching them on the monitor, they're simply documenting it and they're updating police. That's all it is. Walking out the door, they're free to leave. They're not being detained. No threat of violence. Boom. End of story. That's it. Here's the last point of purchase, if you will. Out the store. Done. Now, something that I want to discuss before we look at the video footage surveillance from the parking lot is some of you are so, I'll tell this quick story. One of the last years I was a cop, we had a policy had changed from loss prevention. Actually, this was in 2004, so this was not one of the last years. This was a long time ago, one of my first years on. A loss prevention person called 911 screaming, they're chasing a suspect through a parking lot that stole something. 5 of us squad cars because it was afternoons, 3 to 11. We all go screaming up because we got a foot pursuit, all this stuff. Long and the short of the story is the kid got tackled, all of this, blah, 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 for a payday candy bar. It was either a payday or a Snickers candy bar. And all of us were pissed as cops because 2 different things. Number one, we thought, dude, you called us here after you were chasing down a kid for a candy bar. And the second thing is we looked at that the actions of the loss prevention agent, if he's going to chase, and I want you to listen to me how this applies for law enforcement. If you're going to chase a suspect through a parking lot, that suspect happens across busy road that's a 4-lane road, and cars are doing 35, 45, 55 miles an hour, and the kid gets hit by a car, this is the difference. You public are now so irritated and aggravated, you say, well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You shouldn't have taken that candy bar. Although I agree with you, I also have both sides of the issue where I'm a citizen, a human being, and I was a police officer, and I know that most people commit acts because they are at some different point of life that, thank God, have never been exposed to understanding. In other words, it's pressure. In other words, they are some are just stupid shitheads. In other words, I don't understand the mindset they're in. But it could be argued. You have to think about this on a civil action. If the kid dies and the parent sues, you don't think the defense attorney is going to say, well, the Walmart, the Target, the I don't know, whatever else, the Kohl's employee chased them out to the parking lot instead of identifying the subject, giving the information to the police, and that caused the person to panic, run, and they ran into traffic. Therefore, that person from loss prevention is liable for the person's death. This is why police pursuits are terminated almost instantly. Because if you're behind a car, you activate those lights and sirens, that person's automatic body response nervous system is fight or flight. If you're in a stolen car, you know you're going to go to jail. You're going to try to outrun the police. What's going to happen? You're going to hit the gas. You're going to put other people in danger. You're going to swerve, hit a tree, die, and the family's going to say, well, why did the officers pursue in the first place? It was just a stolen car. It was just a candy bar. Now, keep in mind from Miss Young here, she's a criminal. I don't, listen, I'm not going to judge her. She's a piece of shit for stealing. I'm a piece of shit for the stuff I've done in my life that some people would judge me for. Whatever. You want to steal for a loaf of bread because you got to feed your kids? Fine. You're stealing shit tons of liquor? Whatever the hell's wrong with you. We're all human. I can't accept it. It's not something I would do. It's still law, policy, procedure, property crime, life and death, whatever the search situation is. Right now, the situation we have is property crime. No force was being used in order to commit that crime, right? So it's not aggravated. In other words, she didn't hold a knife, a gun, or say, listen, I'm going to stab you, shoot you, I have a gun on me. There was no aggravating circumstance for this. Guys, I know you're pissed at this. It was simply a property crime. You have to understand that. Identify the person, find the license plate, do the investigation, and where the cops do go take it as far as they want to go. Sadly, it's your fucking prosecutors, your state, your county. It's those guys who are dropping the ball by allowing this to happen. So I don't know why the police are continuing to do this shit when your fucking government, who doesn't have your back, is the one that's causing this problem. You're going to go and respond to somebody for stealing 7 bottles of booze. You commit this act of force, use of force action, all because you know the state's going to drop the charge in the first place. This is where cops get blinders on, where the saying is, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. We'll talk about that. But it's a property crime. No force is being used. So here we have 1 squad, 2 squads. They're boxed in. I don't know where all the officers are. We're going to take a look. This is 1:09. There's no audio. Jumps forward a little bit. I know it's going to be coming down this aisle where this white SUV is backing up. It looks like I see 2 people over here, so it looks like police. They might all be walking towards this direction. Okay, so far we don't have any force used. Car's coming out. No, that's not her. We have about 30 seconds left in this video. Doesn't seem to jump forward. Here's two guys. These could be cops here because they're, I don't know why they're being boxed out. To protect the identity of cops or whatever. I don't see any vehicle moving so far. Okay, that is her. So let's back up for a second. I was actually incorrect. This is her vehicle right here, backed in the first spot here. And what you, okay, so let's look at this from this position. These are the police that walk up. One cop walks up. Driver's side contact. Looks like he continues forward. He's kind of, it's a front tactic where you face into the car. Another cop walks up. I can't tell who, if they switch positions. Now he's positioned in front of his car as if that's going to do something. Okay. So he puts himself in front of that car. This is where a lot of you argue, well, it wasn't deadly force until she decided to put her foot on the gas. Now she's got a 2,000-pound impact weapon. I'm going to talk about officer-induced jeopardy in a second. Doesn't hit the gas yet. The car's in gear. She starts to move forward a little bit, move forward a little bit, move forward, moving. And that's where we saw the body camera footage right there. So the argument for deadly force is going to be between the 55-second mark, where she moves, from this position, if I'm going to evaluate this, I want to read this here for a second. Officer-induced jeopardy. Officer-created jeopardy is a term hallmarked by criminologists to describe situations in which the officer creates their own danger, often by deliberately or recklessly escalating a situation throughout the moments leading up to the effectuation of an arrest, increasing the likelihood that fatal or excessive force will be used. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Here's deadly force is force necessary to terminate life-threatening behavior. I want you to dispassionately listen to me for a second. Where's the life-threatening behavior? Did Young beat anybody up, stab anybody, shoot anybody inside of the liquor store, or as she was walking out, or in the parking lot to commit the crime? Here's use of force. Remember, it's in the moment, and it's very dynamic. Even if she did, if she surrendered immediately when the police got there, they can't use deadly force on her. They can't. I know that you have so many of you have problems with this. I know. You have to just follow me, and I know this bothers a lot of you guys. I really want you educated on this. The officer. So the question now is, officer, if I'm interviewing this officer, we're going to get the body camera footage in a second. Officer, what did you think you would be able to do by placing yourself in front of that vehicle? Can you stop the vehicle? The answer is no. Can't do it. Officer, why did you pull your pistol on the suspect as they were fleeing? Did you have any information that this person used force on any other subject that could generate death or great bodily harm to another individual? The answer is no. Or I don't know. I don't have that. Maybe somebody told the officer, oh my God, she had a gun in there. Then he has every single lawful authority to draw down on her, to prevent her from a furtive movement, from going to a seat, underneath her legs, wherever, and pulling up anything. Then he could do it. I don't know what information the officer had at the time, right? I don't know. The problem with shooting at a moving vehicle is the vehicle doesn't stop. And I really want to create this for you to understand too. If you're going to say that a 2,000-pound impact weapon is what was used, and she put her foot on the gas to go forward, the officer shoots her, she dies in the car, how's the car going to stop? How's it going to stop? The car's going to continue. What if the car rolls over a child? What if the car drives through the building and then kills 4 people in there? Whose fault is it? And I know so many of you are going to be, well, it was her fault for stealing in the first place. Don't be so fucking stupid. Don't be so fucking stupid. Now remember, these are the policies and procedures, training, laws that were put in place by your government. You don't like it, start voting for new people. Start asking them to revise police training, use of force, how it's dictated, and how it's perceived as objectively reasonable by other cops and other prosecutors and other defendants. You have to start doing that. So again, we're going to look at this, finish this up. We're at 51 seconds here. He puts himself in the way of her. He clearly moves off to the side. Boom. From this position, with video only, with visual, no auditory, no on-scene information, and yes, me armchair quarterbacking, this was an unjustified. This was not a good shoot. This was a bad shoot. I didn't see any video of her acting erratic inside a location. I didn't see any weapons on her. Nothing looked implied. She had no resistance coming out. The police officer put himself in a path that he could have been injured by the car. A 45 caliber bullet, a 40, 357 SIG round. I don't care. It's not going to stop the vehicle from moving forward, nor can he. The officer placed himself in harm's way. Let's go to the body camera footage now. And I know that this is bothering a lot of you guys out there, and it is what it is. It is what it is. This is disturbing for some of you guys who don't want to. All right, so this is what the cops are there for in the first place. They're there for a lockout. Somebody locked their keys in their car. They just happen to be there. Okay, great. Let's continue.
Attention 29, 3705 Managua, 3705. A female is hallucinating. Too much of a loss for attend.
Out of the car.
All right. It's always the fucking backup officer too, isn't it, right? I'm going to assume damn well the backup officer tends to be the cowboy. Always. Backup officer is doing a lockout. We know that's boring. It's a waste of time. Now all of a sudden, ooh, we got something. All right, here we go. And don't think for 1 second that cops, not white cops, not black cops, not Asian cops are tired of fucking criminals being let off with I-bonds and non-prosecution and being vilified by the public for being allowed to steal whatever the fuck they want and getting away with it. Don't think that cops don't emotionally have an act. So this cop could have some angst, if you will, over this shit.
Out of the car. Out of the car.
Clinic 7 back in service, 1828.
All right, let's see. All right, her hands clearly are visible from body camera footage. That means I could see it too. That means the cop can see it. Her hands are clearly visible. No weapons are in her hands.
Then get out. No, then get out.
Get out of the fucking...
Cowboy. Let's hear it again.
No, then get out.
Get out of the fucking car.
Get out.
The fuck is wrong with some of you dumb cunt cops? What is wrong with you? Now understand something. I understand you have to speak to a subject at the level of which they understand. Wrote about it in my book, Before the Badge. Everything you need to know before you become a cop. I have a copyright it somewhere. Go get it on Barnes & Noble. And maybe remember what your fucking job is. You escalated this. What did you draw your pistol for? Now, I would assume, this is where he gets a little bit of defense. You get officer number one, the contact officer. Look at this right here. Contact officer is the one saying, get out of the car. His pistol is not drawn. And he's saying, get out of the car, get out of the car, get out of the car. Of course, she's going to go, why? I didn't do anything, blah, 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 blah. Why did you draw a pistol? Why did you, A, put yourself in front of this car's position, officer induced jeopardy? You're not going to stop the car. Your body's not going to stop the car. A bullet isn't going to stop the car. You sever her spinal cord, clean, instant kill. The car is still going to keep moving forward. It goes and it runs over a pedestrian. You're the motherfucker at fault now. What did you pull your pistol for? Now, she's a black woman. Don't forget, society says cops kill unarmed black people. The narrative has been going around for God knows how long, and you're white. You dumb motherfucker. You pull a pistol and you flat out say, get out of the fucking car. Let's continue in this. Number one, you're fucking dumb. You're the cowboy.
Then get out. No, then get out.
Get out of the fucking car.
Get out of the car.
Get out of the fucking
Oh, shit. There you go. Look at it. You're going to have to freeze this on your end easier.
fucking car.
Get out of the car.
Get out.
It's right fucking there. He goes.
Get out of the car.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a bad shoot. His finger is on the trigger. Now, I want to see if I can remember the 4 rules of firearm safety. All guns are always loaded. Don't point, keep your finger off the trigger. We used to say keep your fucking finger off the trigger. Don't point your gun, your firearm at anything you do not intend to destroy. Keep your fucking finger off the fucking trigger. That's what we our creed, if you will. His finger is on the trigger. His body is now being pushed back. Sympathetic nervous system is going to take over. He's going to shoot. The only thing that is the shittiest part about it is his aim, I bet you wasn't intentional, but he was close enough to fire a shot, goes in there. His finger has no lawful reason to be on the trigger. And for those of you who are in the comment section are saying, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, she shouldn't have done it, you're not a fucking cop. I don't judge brain surgeons. I don't judge heart surgeons. I don't judge. There's a lot of professions I don't judge because I didn't do them. I am a former use of force instructor. I am a former defensive tactics expert. I was a police officer for many, many, many years. I did this job. My pistol was pulled a shit ton of times. My finger was only on the trigger twice in my career. Thank God I never had to pull it. And it was because I intended. And thank God I wasn't put in that position to pull the trigger. Let's continue. Back up a second and look at it again.
Service 1828.
Reason his gun, the first cop, I'm reading his body language, he's not amped up. Not doing whatever. In my mind, I'm seasoned going, shit, do I really want to end up on the fucking 5 o'clock news again? And this shit? Okay, she's not allowed to leave? Okay, what's going on? Let's continue.
Get out of the car.
He's not, the cop isn't anxious, not screaming at her. No reason to pull the pistol out.
Get out of the fucking car.
Get out of the car.
Get out of the fucking car.
Get out of the car.
Let's look at it again where he shot.
Get out of the fucking car.
He's already coming off to the side.
Get out of the fucking car.
Fingers on the trigger. Bad shoot, dude. Bad shoot. Honestly, jail time for you. Prosecution, criminal prosecution, jail time. I don't know how we are having this many stupid police. You guys are so fucking worried about Instagram showing off your abs and your products and your before and afters and me on duty smiling, blurt out my badge. You guys aren't cops today. You're fucking Instagram models. I don't get this one. Although I do understand the divide that it does create in the public's eyes. Well done. Oh, you're married too. There's a ring on your finger. Fuck. Yep.
Get out of the car.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. Stop the goddamn car. Stop. Stop. The goddamn car.
I was going to stop. No. You see that? You see that? The car can't fucking stop because you killed the suspect inside. There's no one to push on the brake. No one to push the car in the park. Doesn't work that way, does it? Now, if you got a fucking toddler walking right there and you just crushed the toddler in between the car and the pillar that's out front, guess what? That one's on you too, Chief. Well done, right? But all you fucktards in the comment section and your play stupid games, win stupid prizes. She shouldn't have stolen in the first place. It'd be a nice fucking world if that didn't happen. Really nice to me. But that's what your police are there for, right? The only job of the police is to keep the peace and maintain order in a free society. To keep the peace and maintain order in a free society. This cop escalated that. Didn't keep the peace. Didn't maintain order. Let's continue with this.
she's going to be at.
This is a different angle.
10 to 29, 3705 Managua, 3705.
What's that?
Female is hallucinating. Much of a loss for attempts.
Hey, stop. Hey, out of the car. 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 They said your soul stuff, do not leave. Get out of the car. Then get out.
I gotta teach you guys this, and I'm gonna tell you, we need more cops who are bartenders and car salesmen out there. Yeah, there's a way of doing this. Out of the car, out of the car, out of the car. Hey, do me a favor. This asshat here said that you stole a bunch of liquor. I don't care if you did or didn't. I've had a long day. I'm getting ready to go home soon. If you did, we'll take care of it, right? You're not going to be in that much trouble. If you didn't, I'm going to get you the fuck out of here, and you can sue this person for whatever they're worth. Would you do me a favor? Can you step out of the car, please? Learn how to talk to people. Learn how to talk to people. I'm sorry. I did the Gestapo shit when I first got hired. That badge, that authority, all 5'7" of me, fucking tough guy. I did it. My career became exponentially far easier, far better when I remembered the days where I was a bartender before becoming a police officer, and I knew how to talk to people. And the job got great. And the use of force, when I did use it, was fucking righteous. When I didn't have to use it, was most of the time because I had the greatest weapon on me, which was my mouth.
No, then get out. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Shots fired. Stop the goddamn car. Stop the goddamn car.
What the fuck is that? Who trained these idiots? Wait a second. I gotta go back to this. Where's my mouse?
Car.
Well, you're using your pistol as an impact weapon now?
Goddamn car.
What is this? The fuck is this, dude? Oh my God, your department deserves to be fucking sued and audited. Because I don't know what the fuck this shit is. That is great. You're gonna break her fucking window now with an impact weapon? Because we all know that's a Glock, right? I don't know what model that is. And we know that the bottom portion is all plastic. So that's not going to happen. What, are you going to shatter her window with the rail there, which is metal? What, then another round is going to go off? Holy shit on Christmas. The fuck is wrong with you guys?
There it is.
I don't think I need to conclude it any more than that. That's a bad police shooting. But the problem is most of you people out there think that criminals are allowed to get away with anything, which sadly they are. They really are. And it's causing a massive divide when you have the public that is tired of it, the criminals that are allowed to do it, and they feel that it's okay to do it. It's become part of their culture. The cultures happen to be separated by a very big common denominator, which is race. And then stupid, moronic police. Guys, your flood of good, righteous, common sense police officers are retiring at a mass exodus level that is insane. And they're being replaced by utter fucking morons. And you're backing the blue? No. You should be holding the blue to that higher standard, which when we were in the academy, we all said we're held to a higher standard. But nobody wants to hold us. We sure as shit don't want to be held to a higher standard by criticism, as the comment section seems to indicate wherever you're going to see this video going on. I don't know. I'm going to take a look at this, and I hope, please, I haven't seen this yet. I don't want to be disappointed. In the comments section, let's see. It must suck to hear that your pregnant mom died because of instead of raising you, she was trying to steal alcohol, and then the law didn't apply to her. Thought the law didn't apply to her. She was being caught. The commenter says she's pregnant with 2 kids and she's out there stealing a bottle of alcohol. Another one says taking up handicap spots, stealing from a store. Let's see. This one says this is why body cams have actually been a boon for police departments. I believe that the sentiments have changed when it was initially rolled out. I'm sure officers were skeptical, but with the story being in the media and her family saying she was a great person, blah, 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 the video protects the officers involved. You guys are fucking stupid. You're blaming the fucking pregnant woman? No, I blame the state's attorney and the district attorney. I blame the politicians that allow this shit to happen. I blame her for the theft. I blame the fucking cop, their training, their department, their chief. I blame all them. And I blame you fucking idiots in the comment section for supporting this shit. Guys, I don't support this stuff. And I'm going to tell you flat out, you keep supporting this, enjoy it. Because you're going to be the one that's at the end of a barrel of some dumb fucking police officer who has no idea what he or she is doing because they are so emotionally over the edge because all three sides, John Q. Public who happens to be a certain race, and then John Q. Public who decided to become a police officer, everyone's pitted against each other. And it's all three monkeys fucking footballs here. And the powers that be are just laughing at you guys behind the scenes because you're doing exactly what they want. That's my breakdown from this. 100% bad shoot. And that police officer deserves to be criminally prosecuted. And this needs to be a training video inside of academies across the country. Don't fucking put yourself in front of a vehicle. Learn what use of force is. Learn what deadly force is. Learn how to read the situation. And keep the peace and maintain order in a free society. Guys, good luck. Be safe out there.